Hello everyone. So today we are doing some watercolor on some sketches that I've done. I had done this one off camera and yeah, so she's just colored with a little colored pencil and I'm going in now with my kneaded eraser. It's a pretty hard eraser, so I'm having to knead it pretty well. You can see me there, just kneading away, and then you just roll it on, and it takes up some of that pencil that we don't want before we put our watercolor down. So as you see, I'm just erasing a little bit. You can still see the lines, so that I have a guide for where I want to put all of my paint. And then I wanted to try out these watercolor pens, but they ended up not being super great. They ended up kind of tearing up my paper a bit, kind of messed up this drawing in the end, but I think it still looks good. Once I go back over it with some pen and other pencils and stuff, I think it'll look decent. But yeah, you'll see eventually where it tears up the paper. And what I was doing here is I was just going in with a little bit of the watercolor pens because I thought that they'd flow really well once I got water on them. So as you can see, that doesn't happen later, but that's okay. But this is what you would do if you had like real watercolor pens and if they worked well. So then all you need to do is put in your water and move that pen ink around your page. Right. I'm gonna go in with some other colors. I think I chose like red for the eyes. Down your colors wherever you think you need them. And then this is where I go in with the paintbrush and try and fail at blending all of this together. So as you can see, I'm kind of at a loss here. So I pick up my pencil and I go back over everything with the pencil, give it a little bit of texture, and then I go back in with some more dark colors. My daughter did these little figures that I printed out with our printer, and she just cut out the little figures and glued them back. It's from Cookie Run Kingdom. It's a little bobblehead. What's this one's name? Oh my god. What's this one's name?
Shadow Milk.
Shadow Milk. Aww, I love it. So cute. And I'm just doing the hair here. Looks like pickles. I love the green. And then I'm just going back in with some darker colors, doing some shading, keep layering, keep layering. You know the deal. And then it starts to buckle a bit, so that's when I put the tape down on it. Just still do more shading, color in her shirt. So my idea behind this piece is it is a orc monk or fighter, not really sure. I've always wanted to be an orc, and I think like in D&D, not like in real life. I'd pass on the old rock look. It's not great. Anyways, yeah, so I would like to play a character maybe as like a monk orc or fighter. I think maybe those races would go well with those classes. That race would go well with the classes that I was talking about. Like, I think my last character that I played, well, not my last one, my very first character that I played, she was a rogue, and I was just so bad at D&D at first, and she was just clumsy, so I just kind of leaned into that. She was a clumsy rogue. She just failed a lot, and when she didn't fail, she was like, yeah, I'm the best, like, fuck you guys, and then, you know, would make things worse because trying to intimidate people and having like very little intimidation, or just not being able to roll right to where you can intimidate people, and then failing at that, people would just laugh at her, like, yeah. We end up just playing as like our people. I don't know, there's not really any direction with at least my character. I've definitely done some things that maybe a paladin shouldn't do, and probably should have lost my oath a couple of times, but you know, oh gracious DM is very gracious when it comes to our playstyle. So anyways, so we have a great team. We're a little broken up at the moment while we were playing this, but we ended up playing the three of us. So we have Silver, who is a fairy, celestial fairy, I believe is what she is, and we also have a Kenku, I believe that's what they are, player. And he is a follower of Bane. He is a cleric. So we have very tanky people. Very tanky, very odd bunch. I mean, we have this black crow looking Kenku guy, and then a fairy, and a half elf with a unicorn flail, and I have a little Pokemon, which is awesome. It's a little homebrew guy. It's a solar flare or something like that. I'll have to look it up and figure out the actual name and put it in the comments, or just record that name and cut this out. So yeah, that's our party. So we have Silver, we have Zark. He's had so many names, I don't know what he is now, but he keeps following different things and keeps being named different things, or like promoted or whatnot. Anyways, he has a new title. I don't know what it is, so we just call him Zark for short. And then my name is Opal, and then my Pokemon is Ryu. So this last real serious fight that we had, we were traveling. We went into a old manor, broke into it. The gate outside was completely chained up for reasons we didn't ask ourselves. We didn't think to ask any of the town people, or lack thereof town people, I guess, is why we didn't ask. But we didn't want to backtrack and go back to the town and be like, hey, what's up with this manor? We just went on in. So we broke in, and we broke into the house, and then we get to this living room that is just old and just, imagine like Titanic, decrepit, worn out looking. That's what I imagine it as. Little living room has like a fireplace, couches, like old stuff. And then there's this painting of this person, looks like a duke or something, but just whatever. Anyways, Silver and I are investigating this painting, trying to figure out, because Almighty DM is telling us about this painting, what it looks like, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do detect good and evil, and detected it is very evil. And as I am saying to the party, hey, this is very evil, hey, we should not touch this, our good old buddy, old pal Zark, he cuts the painting, slices through it without asking anybody, just does it. And by that time, it was too late. We had been transported to this other dimension. Think of like the not underworld, but like the upside down, I guess. But it's the shadow plane. So there's this shadow plane that we're in now. And I kid you not, this is like the funniest moment, because we, like, Silver and I, we just looked at each other and then like it's Zark, and it's just like, oh great, this is where we die. This is how it ends. But oh my gosh, it was just too funny. I couldn't I wasn't even mad, like could not even be mad, because it was just so funny. It was just like out of a comedy. Anyways, so we get transported. We're here in the shadow realm, and there's this huge creature just walking around in the distance that we finally see, and very old, ancient being, I guess. Hasn't noticed us yet. It's kind of like a fever dream, but like I hardly remember this fight. But the planning behind it, our DM let us level up, because I don't think there was any way we could have beaten it. What level were we? Like level 3, level 5? I don't know. I feel like we were level 3, and then like we were level 4, and then maybe we either leveled up to 4 or 5. It was some very significant number. So like usually 5s, 3s, those numbers are pretty significant with levels. Anyways, we level up, we take a break. He lets us kind of metagame and plan something out, because we are technically not discovered yet, and there is like this living room that we are still in. So we go take a little break, and we converse, and we talk, and we plan, and we plot without our DM to hear us. And the plan was to increase my size, because I think I was the heaviest hitter, so I could go in all out, hit him a bunch with what was it called? What's the spell called? Enlarge, reduce, I believe. So I got enlarged to like 10 or 20 times the size that I was originally. I don't really know how that spell works. Can't remember how it works. But anyways, that was the gist. Is I got increased in size so that we can hit him a bunch and then just wail on him one after the other until we maybe beat him. So that was the plan. So we went back inside to play the game. We basically get like the whole plan is laid out, and like we're on track. We're taking some heavy hits at first. The first thing that we did though was I got closer. I had to run up to him and jump into like the water. I think that was afterwards. I can't really remember. It's a fever dream. Anyways, I believe what had happened is we enlarged me. I ran towards him. I hit him a couple good times with, man, what did I have? Booming blade? Either booming blade or just a couple really good wails on him with my unicorn-shaped flail. And I think I ended up doing like 90-something damage in the end. So it was really good hit. Wasn't dead, not phased. That sucked. So we were kind of shitting ourselves for a minute because that did not hurt him very much. He was looking a little roughed up, but he was looking fine, basically. So yeah, this is kind of just me drawing her, getting ready to wail on this Nightwalker dude. And I think I'm gonna go back in here and draw my other teammates in the back, just being small and hiding behind like a stalactite thing. So yeah, that's the story behind this piece. So this is Opal being enlarged and kind of taunting the other guy. It is such a great fight though. Like, I'll continue the story. So Opal does her damage. I think the spell wore off of me, and I freaked out because I think he put his hand through my chest or something, and like I was down, and then somehow I think I got myself up, was able to get to water and hide under the water because I have this cloak that allows me to breathe underwater. So that is what I did for the rest of the fight, trying not to die, and just trying to cast things while being underwater. And I don't really remember what more I did after that. But my teammates, they ended up doing a ton more damage. Again, fever dream, I kind of like did my damage, blacked out for the rest of it. But like there was a part where Zark was down, Silver was down, I was down. We were all down. There was no way. And like this guy, like he was almost dead. Almost dead. We had like a couple more hits on him and he was gone. And I can't exactly remember what had happened, but I just remember Silver had this blade that she had summoned, like a celestial blade. And I think it was just Shadow Blade, but it like looks like a celestial blade because she's a celestial fairy, just like per her character, just for the flare and stuff. So it doesn't really do anything different besides like the Shadow Blade. But she summons that and then basically like cuts his dick off. Just very in character and like fuck you, die. But I think that was after the fact that she almost died, so I'm telling this all wrong. So she basically was killed. She did not have any life points left. The only way that she could have saved from this like attack that the guy had done was if like we had like a wish spell. Like, oh no, I'm sorry. If we die in the realm, the only thing that can bring us back is a wish spell. So if we had all died, like that would be a TPK. Like we would be totally dead. But didn't happen. So we all survived. And the way that we did survive was like Zark's deity had basically like reached out to Silver and spoke to her and gave her like one last chance. So she ended up rolling a D100, and the chances were 100 to like 3, I think. So you only had a 3% chance of getting like a you survive like score. So she rolls her D100. She rolls a 98. And because of that, she gets pulled back from death, and she is able to do one last hit on this creature and then cuts his dick off. And then we are all alive. We're all downed, so we weren't dead. We were just downed. So she's able to kind of pull us back, and then at that point, I think because he's just dead and there's no reason for this realm anymore, we kind of poof back into the room. Everyone throws up or something. It's like people are kind of hyperventilating and freaking out, like because we all just almost died. And like real life and in game, just the greatest story that we can take with us after playing that game. It was very fun. But yeah, I literally wanted to throw up. I wanted to vomit once we got out of there. Yeah, this is her. This is Opal, my badass little paladin. She's a Green Knight paladin, and for those of you who know D&D, it just means that she follows like nature laws and is basically a tree hugger. It's funny though, because there's like these crustacean things that we're fighting, and I mean they're animals technically, I guess, but like they're not animals. And I think me and my DM got into it about like he's like, you're killing a lot of creatures. I don't really know if your god would appreciate that. I'm like, well, they're not creatures, they're crustaceans, they're bugs, like. And I think we got on the subject of like shrimps as bugs sort of topic. Yeah, she's not your everyday paladin. She's I don't know, I sometimes forget to stick to the character. Anyways, bye bye.